Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Total War Attila Western Roman Empire campaign. So rather than picking up where we left off at the tail end of the previous turn, I went ahead and I wrapped things up there and advanced, because frankly there wasn't a whole lot happening after I finished spending all of our money on buildings and whatnot. It was really just a matter of moving a couple pieces around the board and then advancing, so you guys didn't miss anything, but I will bring you up to speed anyways. We've got, usual hostile agent activity by the Huns. It never ends with them. Loyalty was successfully secured by Marinus Celestius. He was trying to gain the loyalty of Appius Corvus, and he was successful, so that's great. That's fantastic. We've pushed our spies a little bit further to the northeast just to kind of keep an eye on what's going on out here. We're going to continue along with that just to sort of preempt any sort of Hunnic invasions that might be coming. Rather see them sooner rather than later. It looks like these Huns have decided to change directions here. They might be trying to cross right there. I am going to continue to try to hinder them however I can, because if they do cross there, that could be a real problem for us. Let's see. Misdirection was successful. That's great to hear. Now then, what I could do is I could take this legion under Lucius Ambustus, and I could march him to right here and put him in a fortified stance. And that way, if they decide to cross there, I will be able to essentially make them attack me to do it. My only concern is that there could be Huns sitting just outside of our line of sight over there, and knowing the AI, it's probably exactly what's happening. So I'm not quite sure how I want to handle this. I'm going to take a chance though, and I'm going to set up here just in case. If they decide to go that way instead, we'll know it. We have a spy there, and we'll just march back to Marcianopolis, but I need to make sure that they don't cross. So let's get our legion there. And ooh, they have just enough left to fortify. That worked out perfectly. So that'll prevent them from... Actually, they may not even be able to cross. They would have to attack me because the thing right there is actually in my zone of control. So yeah, if they want to get across there, they have to attack this legion, this fortified legion. Let's see, what's happening up here? I am losing my patience with some of these allied factions. So I had ordered them to take Lupfordum, and apparently what they did instead was they let the Picts have it. So the Picts have Lupfordum now. The Franks are still trying to take this. I don't know why they haven't yet. I literally have a legion sitting there waiting to help them. So yeah, they're doing their usual incompetence thing. But whenever they finish taking that, I'm going to order them to head up to here and take this. That is a minor settlement, so they won't need to besiege it, I hope. If I have to, though, I'll escort them there. What I might do, though, is I might break off and engage this, this army here. I don't know how the hell the Picts grabbed that. I have no idea. But, let's see. We have a Burgundian army moving in, so that could be a problem. Hopefully the Alamans are smart enough to deal with that, because I would rather not have to. I'm protected along this front, though, so if anything, it's going to be them getting hit here. I'm not going to move a legion to defend that for them. They're going to have to deal with it. And let's see, so with that set up down there, let's take a look at the Eastern Roman Empire, and it is not pretty over here. They've lost most of Turkey at this point. Well, I don't know if most is true, but at least half. They have the southwestern part, but basically everything else is gone at this point. It's all fallen to the Sassanids, or their various vassals and satrapies and all that. So it won't be long before we start marching our own legions in there to take it back. I am going to try to turn them into a puppet state, though, just because I would love to be able to recruit Eastern Roman troops into my own legions. So that's something we're going to try to do. Might just leave them in Constantinople. So if they end up with just that, actually, rather than Constantinople, Thessalonica here is also theirs, and because this province is already divided between these three factions, it wouldn't hurt me to let them have that. And then this could be mine and allow me to complete Thracia, and then finally, you know, sort this public order mess out. So that would be an interesting thought. Yeah, so as long as they don't lose Thessalonica, we'll be fine. We'll let the enemies take Constantinople, we'll let them take everything else, and then we'll take it all back. We have to, of course, deal with the Huns at the same time, though, and that's going to be probably the most difficult part, is that we have to keep this giant, you know, wall of legions along this border, because we never know when and where the Huns are coming from. We still have to be able to dedicate legions to marching through here and defeating the Sassanids, and the Sassanids are a pretty worthy enemy in their own right, so that's going to be fun, to say the least. Up here, you guys need some cavalry. Is there any new mercenaries available to us this turn? It does not appear to be so. I'm not going to recruit those guys, so we're just going to leave them slightly short-handed for now. What kind of upgrades are we looking at here? Let's get this up to tier 3. Food is an issue here, though. What is this currently? That's a trade jetty, and I do not want to convert that at the moment. That's going to require... You know what? We can't afford to do that right now. We need more food here, damn it. We need more food. There's really no way for us to supplement that other than waiting for us to hit population 7. Then what I can do... I mean, honestly, we need to build an iron thing here still. But in Londinium, we can build a food market, and that will help. But this might have to get converted over to a fishing jetty. I don't like the idea of that, but it might not have a choice. Although, we have enough surplus food to just sort of deal with it. And we have the ability to supplement the public order through other means, so it's not like... It's not like we couldn't just kind of tank it, because, you know, we have an extra 1,500 food. I'm going to upgrade this, though, because I really desperately want to be able to recruit champions, so that I can start assassinating some of those Hunnic priests. And let's see. Things up here are going a lot more smoothly. We have plenty of food up here. Public order is not so great, though, but that's because these buildings are being sort of resituated. So once they're back up and running, things should be a lot better. Food here is also a bit of an issue. I would wager that this will help sort that out, though. But there's not going to be a lot of other food sources for us, unfortunately. Yeah, that's going to make that difficult. Over here, we should probably start adding to the food as well. So let's get a forum built. That'll eventually get turned into another market. Food market, that is. Let's start upgrading you. How are we doing over here? Plenty of public order. Let's make sure the food gets up a little bit higher. That seems to be the biggest thing in a lot of these border provinces is food. Food. That doesn't... Oh, that does give us food. That might be worth doing then. Just a bit of squalor. We should be able to combat the squalor fairly easily, especially when this opens up. We can build another aqueduct or whatever, so let's get that. And that leaves me with about 5,000 to play with. Should probably... It's 7 either way, huh? Let's go here first. And we'll get a waterworks going. Okay, and so we've already sabotaged them. You're set up there. Let's jump into politics and see what's going on here. There's no positions to appoint anybody, so let's just look at Oh! Our daughter is of age. What's her trait? Spendthrift. So we do not want her to marry a governor, because that would increase the corruption. But she does gain +2 influence per turn, so she'll be a pretty handy character to have around. Let's see then. Who is relatively young and worth maybe looking at? So we have a general in Frisia, who's 26. A governor, again, not a great idea, but he actually has quite a bit of influence, as does he. 29's not bad. That's still fairly young. 33. Honestly, that 29-year-old guy with a ton of influence might be worth trying. Yeah. We'll take a bit of a hit in corruption, but there's actually ways for us to combat that. So what we'll need to do is just make sure that he's actually already got a point in it. Perfect. So the corruption actually won't go up. I mean, it will go up, but it will actually still be lower than it would have been otherwise. Because we're at -10, she'll be +5, so we'll just be at -5. That works pretty well. Oh, but you need enough influence, so that might be a while. But Anatolius Funarius is going to be our target, so we're going to marry him into the family. And in the meantime, we'll see if anybody has enough influence to secure some more loyalties. My assumption is that we probably don't. He needs 35 to become a supreme commander. Influence costs 20. I thought it was higher than that, because I thought we were trying to move him in there and we couldn't. Well, anyway, there's already 2 people in there and I'm not about to boot them out right now. So it doesn't look like there's really anyone other than the Emperor himself. Maybe the Empress? Theodora? Let's see. Let's pan through here. I've noticed that not all of our governors show up on this. So we kind of need to check both, and that makes that really annoying. But we just want to ensure that there's nobody teetering on the brink of like 3, 4 loyalty or less. So far 5 is the worst I'm seeing. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Back over here. 6. I mean, 6 is decent enough. Don't need to really worry about 6 loyalty, but, you know. We got a 4 there, but he's just a statesman. Nothing that he can really do. He was actually a general for us for a long time, wasn't he? Yeah. Well, we can't field any more legions, so he's just going to have to sit there. We have a general here that could use a little boost to his loyalty. But 4 is not the worst, so if it gets any worse than that, then we'll worry about it. But until then, I don't think it's you know, worth the influence. So things look great there. Let's check in on our allies and puppet states. We don't have an active war target. I'm not going to give one until the Franks have taken that. And then let's see. The Dacians. The Dacians. I don't know what to do about these guys because I absolutely hate the fact that they have taken part of Dardania, because that makes it really hard for me to manage that province. I could try to get them to confederate, but I don't really want territory in Macedonia because I'll never be able to get all of Macedonia. So all I can really think to do is, if I could get them to confederate, keep the province, or keep the settlement here, let that rebel, and then maybe the Macedonians themselves will take it. That's a possibility. Eastern Romans, you guys are just absolutely falling apart.
The blessings of the Lord upon you. What then?
What's it going to take to make that happen? I mean, obviously they're not going to do it now, but as their strength falls, they're still considered the 3rd strongest faction in the game, despite being an absolute fraction of their former strength. The Danians are already up to neutral with us and growing stronger every day. How are we doing with the Franks? That's deteriorating pretty quickly because they are no longer Christian. They actually converted to Celtic paganism, and that's a real problem for us. So we need to convert them back over. Wait, that's the Danians, sorry. Germanic paganism. Yeah, but we need to convert them back over because that's just going to drive a wedge between us. Things are going good with the Garamantians. It's always nice to see. Macedonia deteriorating. Why is that? Why is that? Cultural aversion. That can't really be helped. I'm working on their religion. That's -10. But I'm not sure what the big deal is here. I think the fact that, I mean, great power has always been there, though. They don't like the Abdanians. That's probably the most recent one. That and the Picts. So I could maybe offer them a gift. That's only going to slow the bleeding, though. It's not going to completely prevent it. Yeah. And let's see. Things are going pretty well with the Picts, too. I don't actually need to throw any money at them. Alright, so I think that's it for this turn. We'll see what the Huns decide to do there. We'll see if our allies are able to take care of business up here. My assumption is no, but hopefully they'll be able to take it and then move on to this. And we'll have to figure out what we want to do with that army. Oh, we have a lot of level ups. So Vindonius Magnus, one of our governors. Let's take the free food right there, and that'll allow you to go up to here. That's actually not that useful for a governor, is it? So let's instead take the lower corruption, because that's as good as solid gold for us, because our corruption is so high. And then we have Gnaeus Vitulius. He's down in Africa, one of our generals. Surely there's something I can give you. +5 shield training, +5 armor for the commander. Or allied territory when reinforcing, no. Huh. Sure, we'll take that. Extra movement is always great, especially down in the desert here. So you've got those. Cunning's not really going to help you. Let's take the melee defense there, and we'll take some extra melee defense and speed and attack for cavalry. Okay, finally the Franks have decided to attack Tillafurdum. We're going to auto-resolve this. I don't want to have any part in the actual battle. It's funny, they're not really deploying that many men. Most of that number is actually my own army. But we're not going to decline it. We obviously want them to do this. So I'm going to join in with the auto-resolve, and we'll just do balanced. And that should be an absolute crushing victory. I don't know why they didn't do that sooner. But anyways, there's our decisive victory. What were my casualties like? Pretty much non-existent, except for these 2 pike units. Because all of these losses here were from the attrition from sitting here in winter, not from the actual battle. These guys are really the only ones that lost any men. We'll take the replenishment. And you guys better keep that. Don't liberate anybody or do anything stupid. Oh, they sacked it. God damn it. Okay, so the Thuringians are no more. That's another enemy that we never have to deal with again, hopefully. More failures by the Huns. Some critical, some opportune. Marinus's term in office is ended, so we'll need to reappoint him as soon as possible. We have a population surplus in Telekinesis. Let's go look at that. Alright. Public order here is not looking great. Right, I was trying to rebuild this whole thing, so let's make some of this happen. I believe the reservoir is the one that we want. Public order. Growth is not going to be important here. We already should have enough at this point. So, public order and sanitation, especially sanitation that spreads across the entire province, is more useful to me. So yeah, we'll do this one. And there is plenty of food here, so it looks like public order is really the main thing. Let's go ahead and upgrade both of these. What does this do? Wait. I didn't look at those. More marble and wealth, or less marble, less wealth, but cheaper construction costs. Let's do the marble quarry. Now then, what do we want to build? I can get more food out of this. I'll probably need more food once these start upgrading. So I think a food market here is in order. Yeah, let's do that. We'll start with just a forum, because that'll help with the public order immediately. And then as it upgrades, it will start actually taking away from public order, but start giving us food. It seems like we have plenty right now, but that won't stay that way. Saxons, what are the Saxons doing? That's concerning. Oh, you idiots. I just cannot stand the Franks. I've tried so hard to make them a stronger faction and empower them, but they just refuse, absolutely refuse to do so. So I'm not sure what else I can do, really. I'm going to take the melee defense for our army there, and then a bit of attack for our infantry here. And the question then becomes, what do I want to do? It looks like the Picts have completely abandoned this, so maybe the Alamans will come back and take it after the Geats steal it from them. I could try to get the Franks to go grab that, but honestly I'm wondering if I might be better off dealing with the Saxons at this point. They probably hate me though, because we were complicit in their destruction.
Gods of the afterlife, spare my arse.
You know what I could do?
Well, why do you
Because they're pretty weak right now, and they have no allies. I could just subjugate them right here and now. That is a thing that I could do. They'll hate my guts for it, but I have the money to throw at them to sort of, you know, circumvent that. I can try to get them to go take Denmark up here, and then, honestly, as far as the Franks are concerned, I'm just kind of done with them. We'll keep them as an ally, but I'm not going to hope for them to accomplish anything. So let's declare war here. Again, no allies. Everybody loves me and hates them, right? Perfect. Actually, I probably should have not done that, because now a lot of these guys will hate the Saxons, and that might actually hurt my relations with them, because I'm about to make treaties with them. Let's just auto-resolve this. We will do a balanced stance, get that over with, and there we go. Let's go ahead and just outright subjugate.
Commander?
And now we have a new puppet. Fantastic.
We hunger for battle.
And my legion leveled up. Sweet. Barbarian Kingdoms. That might be useful, because that's exactly who you guys are... Well, you're dealing with, like, Northmen as much as anything. But technically the Saxons are Barbarian Kingdoms, or the Franks and the Alamans, but the Geats are not, and a lot of the other allies of theirs that we're fighting against aren't. But let's take a point there anyways, and that will unlock foreign levy units and mercenaries. I'm not using any... Well, I'm actually using mercenaries, but that doesn't help with upkeep. It only helps with recruitment. Let's do that. Okay, and from there, we have to decide what we want to do. I could start marching back to Colonia Agrippina, and I might do that. I think what I'll do instead is I'm going to come defend this to make sure that the Geats don't head for that. Hopefully they'll take Lupfordham instead. I will try to help defeat this army. We are getting some replenishment from being an allied territory, by the way, but we should probably fortify when we get the chance to speed that up. But I'm hoping that they'll take that from the Picts. I can get the Alamans to go take it back. I would think that this army here would, you know, attack this enemy settlement, but that might be too advanced thinking for the AI to pull off. We have some Huns coming in over here alongside the Burgundians. Let's keep harassing them if we can. Hinder their armies wherever possible. Oh. Okay, we were successful. Cool. Cool. We have another army coming in there. Let's go bug them as well. And then over here, what have they decided to do? It looks like they've decided to start marching this way. So, that means that you know what? Stay right where you are. I probably should have left you there, because now you might not technically be fully fortified yet. Basically, they have to be fortified for a full turn. Oh, you failed. Come on. They have to be fortified for a full turn before they actually get the like fort walls around them. Otherwise, you just get like sort of a defensive position, but not an actual fortification. Let's get you guys fortified as well. But there's no way they're getting from that position around to Marcianopolis in a single turn. So if we see them continue to move in that direction, then we'll move. But until then, there's no point. Let's see. What other options do we have? Observation, gather intelligence, exploit corruption, surveillance, bribery. Let's see. Is there anything else for foreign armies, or was that it? Let's try to get assassinate. That would be useful. So we'll put a point there, and then we'll unlock that. Alright. Got a little bit more money to spend. Got to figure out where we want to spend it. We need to throw some at the Saxons. So let's take care of that. Things are improving. So, you know, I'll leave it alone for a couple of turns until it stops improving. Then we'll use that money. I don't like dealing with nomads. Things are still improving with the Picts, that's good. And the next turn I might want to give them some money as well. Same with the Abdanians. Things are actually going really well with them. And I don't really feel like dealing with you guys, to be honest. You are at war with my enemies, though, so that could be an interesting card to play. That's improving. Things with the Franks are still not going well, though. Deteriorating, but not as bad as it could be. Macedonians still deteriorating. Yeah, it can't really be helped. Where are you guys at? Oh, you're down in there. Yeah, not gonna worry about it. Okay, Marinus. Let's get you back into Master of Offices. That's your whole thing. And let's see, you're up to 6. So she's getting like 2 per turn, but that's it. So it might be a long time before we can get her married. But we'll try to wait it out. And I don't think there's really anything else worth spending influence on. So we could appoint another governor. Let's actually look into that, because I do have quite a bit of money right now. Steadfast Defender, Logistics Expert, Handler. That's not that useful. That's better for a general. And that is better for a general. Although, not the worst as a governor if it's somewhere along, you know, the frontier that might be attacked, because then if he's leading the army, they'll get a bit of morale bonus when the province is attacked, but I just don't see it being that useful. So I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'll figure out what to do with that remaining 11,000 gold that we have, and I'll go ahead and advance the turn. We'll see how this situation plays out. I'm hoping that the Saxons prove themselves a more useful ally. They are actually our puppets, not just an ally, so we have a little bit more sway over them. We can actually recruit their troops, too. Not that we would really want to. We, of course, have a pretty steadfast legion here. Is there any more of the good cav? There is. Let's cut them loose, then. And I will grab one of you. There we go. You guys know I like my mercenary Germanic warband. And I think that's going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Total War Attila with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.